On July 22, 1994, 5 Gambian soldiers led by Yaya Jammeh deposed Gambia's first democratically elected president, Sir Dawda Kairaba Jawara, in a bloodless coup. The coup soldiers claimed to come and salvage the country from abject poverty, accusing the Jawara government of endemic corruption.
One has to remember that Jawara has been here for 30 years. For 30 years, he has been a special friend of the British authorities. He spends most of his time in Britain playing golf at the expense of the Gambian state. He has assets in Britain, and our investigations into corruption have shown that most of the money stolen from the Gambian coffers are deposited in British banks. The setting up of the Crude Oil Commission has sparked up this reaction. We understand the reasons why. That they set up the Nigerian government on the ECOWAS protocol has agreed to supply the Gambia, to give to the Gambia in form of financial assistance, crude oil that the Gambia can either sell if directly or refine it. But since we don't have a refinery, the crude oil has to be sold to sold outside to countries that have refining. And we are talking of 20,000 barrels of crude oil a day from 1983 to 1990. These Gambians were not aware of this. And a limited liability company called the Gambia Oil Company, which when you mention to Gambians, they stare at you as if they have seen a ghost, was established in the Gambia. All the managing directors were British. Members of the board of directors were British. And none of the proceeds of that crude oil, the total of which amounted to over 16 million barrels of crude oil, were ever deposited in the government treasury. The company that was contracted to trade with the oil is called a civil trading, a company registered in Latin America, Panama City in Panama. So everything was diverted, and even though the intention of the Nigerian government was for the Gambia government to sell for development projects, to develop the rural areas, the money is diverted. And all the money, we have evidence, has been stashed in British banks.
Yaya Jammeh then ruled the country for 22 years that has been characterized by killing, torture, arrest without trace, among others. The 22 years of tyrannical rule in the Gambia had left many women widowed, children orphans, families separated, and babies homeless. This was an era when people's lives were at stake, as many were afraid to live in zero democratic state. The Gambia was a no-go area for people who spoke critically against dictatorial rule, and many Gambians were running into exile to save their lives and that of their families. There are memorial months of the year that rekindles the tears of victims in the country. November 11 is one of them.
November 11, yalong ukata lunati Bangkok mi yalong ko. Akita lung kolembala ti Bangkok. Bao wolum minketa. Nene man singa memira kabe kala wala keta. Katu somanda. Okay, nanga dari November tili tangola. Olunemu na suo kono ja olunne ke last family gathering Basiru ma betamen
1994 mun ko fekkon Fajara Barracks fofu lañ nekkon mom Ablaye Dot Fall ak njabotam man mi di jabaram ak rakam yi ak domam yi fofu lañu fekkon mom mu nekkon nak Lieutenant Biden at the time biñ ko rey lieutenant la won
biñ ko rey dafa metti ndig man xëy na nit ki mën nga ko rey mu dee ñu xam ne kii rey nga ko dee mu dee waaye man li ma gën a metti si rey bi mooy dañ ko rey ñu ne dee na deeyut ñu beri ko alive dañ ma ko wax ñu ne biñ ko suul boobu deeyut
kude tala ke da bari nte ma wo kalamta hanke mama fo nyun ko kude tala bi kire saya tatale ya manna ko te ke so manda fano keta baraks nyun ko no mol bienjanta nte fana mbota barracks to on seta wulu sate to mbota mbuluta sate o men ton tata je
fama basiro dim folot aba bana watu men mum ba sanji wala 7 years wala alhamdulillah I have nasa bar ñokam fo sanyi lul sanyi wala sanyi lulo ngobere men bala ka kam modare I remember him very well, you know. And there's chance of for victims to forgive. Though we have been through a lot of trauma, there's chance of people to forgive, but that cannot happen in the presence of truth. Like I said, I cannot forgive some Sabli, come on TV, send false testimonies regarding our family, about my father. I cannot forgive that. You know, certainly, you know, if someone does a crime, you're part of the crime, you come in and deny. We had many previous and people giving testimonies against Edward and others. So you come into the RC, deny every single one of them.
Akakuwa bela kuya ndimbulo kono ma biringe de fango bendon ko radala ni ko ya tale fango biringe ni baka so jeto ni ko ya tale aklante ngakilo tatan ko to maka ni ngamo do no fa mbay levin ni ka kuya bakale ngakilo kan ko to mama
ne rek eleg la 1 November man ci la de dorde am problème bala November di jeha
une victime sol mi ka fo yefa nke ma tarta wo mol ko no mi yalla ko ka fo yefa
bay be sirendo lunkilendo ikema e bodala to eta akata do ko la tata mamurna
mom dot fal ak Basiru Baro ñom nañ jëka ray sani len ci trok bi ci kaw
patrol bobu len don har ñancu bentay gisuñ ko
imu ite murun ta watu doron ite ni woni ko yaka murun wonene bukap adate bola folungo min nan tol fanam fata
Ivan Fama Faka was 11 months old.
Ya amali kitite nate hadunte yam fala ya ma abada
do mënuñ ko faté nekul dom bo xamantene dañ ko faté.
In the early days of November 1994, families of the Gambia Armed Forces faced a tragic situation as their breadwinners were mercilessly massacred. The reason behind this unfortunate incident was that they were accused of a counter-coup to overthrow Jammeh's government. Abdoulaye Dotfal, Basiru Baro, Bakar Mane, Jibril Sey, among others, were killed for allegedly plotting a coup against the military-ruled government. Baro, who was initially chosen by a majority of the soldiers for the junta's leadership, but lost it to Jammeh due to absence for an unspecified ailment, was said to have died in a firefight at the Gambia's biggest military camp in Yundum, about 45 minutes drive from Banjul. Among those killed were Lieutenant Basiru Baro, Jibril Sey, Abdoulaye Dotfal, Basiru Kamara, and one Mane called Nyancho. The witnesses stated that these soldiers were executed in different locations, among them Birkama firing range, Yundum, and Fajara barracks.
Abdoulaye Dotfal nak soldat la won 1994 mu ko fekkon Fajara barracks fofu lañ nekkon mom Abdoulaye Dotfal ak njabotam man mi di jabaram ak rakkam yeek domam fofu lañu fekkon mom mu nekkon nak lieutenant Biden at the time biñ ko rey lieutenant la won Fajara barracks ñu ne dañ leen fekka Bakaw barracks ci fil bi ñu soraawon leen ñu ne because dañ foog ne dañoo plan pour coup looloo tax ñu rey leen
so ko ne janne so manda do ngaje mul ka dunna mul bi dun kanan rek ni me rek ka fay basir len ko basita do ko barin ka je mul ka si anyam badingul kana yara fay rumus moy len tellement moy so time akole ato bake sa mfunta ram subita dona ra ko basir ya ba fukan ne ko basir nyori ko kunun suto ye ku detale kede ko basir quoi ko hani ko basir man ku detaka ko basita do ko wala ko hani e wala fay ko ku detale kede andum ko ni kido ko mata ye bakel
ya Jammeh ñum reuy dafa bari xam nga tere nga ñancho waaye yaay ñanco feebar na naka bedde rey nga yaay ñanco papi ñanco toog na xalaat doomam naka bedde naka rey nga papi ñanco te loolu dafa bari si famille yi am na ñoo xamante ne dañ xalaat naka tëdd si laal borset ñu fekkaleen ci lal yi naka ñu dee
leen rey ñii ñu saani leen ci truck bi moom Dot Fall ak Basiru Baro ñoom lañ njëkk a rey sànni leen ci truck bi ci kaw den si li ma dégg ñu ne Fafa Ñang dañ ko takka ne ko dama Edward Singate ne ko dama nga mit sa friend si kaw truck bale fekk ñu ngi ko takka mu ngi joxe gannaaw di dem ci la ko Edward sut mu daanu ñu ne Lamin Koli tamit jekkali ko waaye ñëw na TRRC di wax naan moom Lamin Koli moomu noonu di wax naan moom daf ko doon daw pour dimbale ko pour rescue ko waaye fetel boo xam ne ubbiwuñ ko yaa ngi ko xang ci sa kaw ubbiwuloo fetel bi fetel boobu du mën a tàkka
Fogoson Africa ke otumoɓe ke astata ka fodron yewtumoy fomɓe lori mubale moy kanduɗa ko Basiru leftan Basiru Baro ya faale nderen sudeta to kewñina aɓe ñusin lamoy la Fogos Africa Fogoson Africa bala moy kanduɗon kaɓe ngomoy rek nsiko sudiyata ɗo ngomoy ɗon wurta damen ɗon kewñi muta akoy ko munde kitela munem muso munem he akoy ñenam wala ñintide la say mantano ko taken simul be fata mantano say ji ya ventra do mbulande taxi no taxi sam na street so ko na ja say jeni ka foto so ko na ja ngata jambe fata mo wala say jambe fata mo to mon nina ala second wife be so ko na ja ko jangata ngotul be kumbola.
In fact, I should lead on this.
Okay.
You attacked Fajara barracks and you took over the barracks.
Correct.
You ordered that those captured soldiers who were sent to Mile 2 be brought to Fajara barracks.
Correct.
At Fajara barracks, they were paraded.
Correct.
Tell us what happened when they were paraded.
We removed the head of the snake and the body was useless. It's a military term.
You executed the head of the snake.
Completely.
Can you tell us how that happened?
I stood the soldiers and told them, we have to kill Barrow and Dot Fall. They were the ringleaders. Here we were concerned only for the ringleaders at this particular point in time.
So they were secluded?
Yes.
And then what happened?
We shot them. And I personally, I initiated the shooting.
And it was not just you who shot. Members of your team shot.
Could be.
Not could be. They did shoot.
Here I would say, if all of us have fired, there would have been a lot of casualties. None of them could have come out alive.
Mr. Sabali,
yeah.
You are under oath.
Okay.
And I respect the candor through which you have, the candor which you have displayed throughout. So let's just stick to that. These two were secluded from the group.
No, they were all together.
But you just said a minute ago that you said Barrow and Fall were to be killed.
Exactly.
You did not say that the rest were to be killed.
No.
So Barrow and Fall were secluded from the group.
Seclusion here, if I understand you, means that they were taken aside.
Yes. We've heard Mafuji Sonko. He said that Fall and Barrow were put aside.
No, that is totally false. Totally false.
So how? So your suggestion is they were in a group standing.
Exactly.
And you said that Fall and Barrow were to be killed.
Correct.
And then you opened fire at them.
Correct.
How would the bullets select who is Fall and who is Barrow?
But I already told them Barrow and Fall, and all of us there knew who these people were, who these officers were.
But what I'm trying to drive at is,
right.
At that point, when you gave the order, you said these two should be killed.
Correct.
You did not say that all the others should be killed.
Correct.
So therefore, the attack, the fire should be directed at these two, correct?
Correct.
And indeed, these two were killed.
Correct.
And those were the only two who were killed there.
Correct.
So it therefore meant that there was deliberate targeting of these two individuals.
They were the ringleaders.
I agree. There was deliberate targeting of these two people. And only these two people were executed, correct?
Correct.
They could not have been within the crowd when they were being shot at.
They were in the crowd. We lined them up.
So Yeah. But then the line of fire was directed just at these two people.
Of course.
Okay, so therefore, you and your group targeted only these two people.
Correct.
So therefore, not only you shot, those with you also fired, but directing their fire just at these two people.
Correct.
So you and your colleagues and your orderlies are all responsible for the deaths of those two individuals.
I am responsible, lead counsel. I was the command on the ground and I gave the orders.
Yes, I accept your own responsibility. Now let's talk about the responsibility of the other participants.
Okay.
They too, your council members, were also responsible.
Okay.
No. Answer the question, yes or no.
Here is a collective action.
Good. So collectively, you are all responsible for the deaths of those two individuals at that time.
I don't call them individuals, I call them enemies.
Okay, call them enemies, call them soldiers, call them traitors, call them whatever. But these captured soldiers were killed. You and your council members and their orderlies participated in their killing.
Completely correct.
And all of you are individually and collectively responsible for their deaths.
Correct.
Karate aya bere ke nonte anna family be atida mal belorno atara fama ke bayata atara belorno ko bela lieutenant wono beno na sola kono somanda na damo ko come ko kudeta leketa akorda do ndala soja role beje ndata wala moleka ngo assalamu alaikum alaikum salam doron azara soja ro nyata be telephone diamo inata fa e fatu fela nata sai akoya ala kumandia telephone nota ngal telephone nota ndata nga assalamu alaikum ko alaikum salam nga ko albe munela akonye ko fatu ngona akonye ko elefo yake mollale nga muneke akonye ko itole kuleta nga sa aliya fale ba akonyani ma fa follow abortale nga abortala ko nga sa nga telephone do bendala wona ta ba ma do telephone mutambulu nkumbota ten seta so kono.
After the new dispensation in 2016, the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission was set up to investigate the human rights crimes committed under the dictatorial regime of Jammeh. Witnesses who appeared before the Truth Commission disclosed so many hidden skeletons that were in the cupboards of the former government. Numerous witnesses voiced over how these soldiers were brutally massacred on November 11, 1994.
This misinformation with the junior ranks had also to do something with the senior NCOs. I gave them strict warning that the Jawara government was a civilian. It is better we work together as Gambians, as the same military, than to try to foment misunderstanding or anything that would bring trouble in the country. And I was very stern, very clearly, I gave them information that anybody who wants to try anything, we would stand and we would not run away. And I personally, I will not run away from anybody. The fact that we have the same weapons, we have the same training, we have the same weapons, we have the same training. I will not run away from anybody. I would rather take a blade on my chest rather than to take a blade on my back. I will not run away from anybody. I would stand to fight to death.
To kill or be killed?
Of course, that is in the military. That's what we are trained.
So the threat they received was anybody who tries to overthrow your government would be killed?
Of course.
Left the Yundong barracks to the along the road to Birkama to Nyambai Forest End. We go up to when we pass we pass Farado, going towards Birkama. Before we reach to that beans factory, Nyambai Forest, there is a road on the right side of the right side of the road. That's where we branch up, going towards Jambur End. Like we pass Farado, but we are not yet in Birkama. inside forest. Yes.
And what happened after that?
We went right inside the bush. Upon arrival of where they want the leader who was in front, I think, then, I don't know, it may be Sana, because as far as he's the vice chairman, in the army, we respect, like seniority or appointment title. He may be in front, but then I don't know. So all the cars were, parked, and the Land Rover arrived. So the buzzer was removed from them, and they were dropped down. Taken to
At this stage, the detainees, were they restrained? Were they tied?
They were tied.
Hands behind their back?
Hands behind the back.
And then what happened? They dropped down?
And then they dropped down, taken to for a distance in front of us. We and the council members, I was part of them. Council members with their orderly, we line up and facing them.
Were the captured soldiers facing you, or did they have their backs to you?
They are giving us their back.
And they were grouped together, or they were standing in a line?
It's like a form of an extended line.
Okay. And then what happened after that?
And then from there, Lieutenant Sadibu Hadra said, yes, I want to ask you one question. Suppose we come across with you people, what is going to happen? No response from them. Yes. No response from them.
Who was he asking that question?
Lieutenant Sadibu Hydra.
To whom was that question?
He was asking
addressed?
the captured people.
Proceed.
No response. No response. From there, Sana Sabal said, say your last prayers. I remember Cadet Silla, Ahmad Silla, who said, sir, if you are to kill us with support weapon, and we meet in the next world. Yes.
Did anybody else say something?
Nobody said nothing, sir.
Buba Jame, Lieutenant, did he say something?
Yes, sorry. Buba Jame said, sir, Al-Kanamfa, Alin Sorong, in the local language. That is, don't kill us. Please lock us, take us to jail.
Index. Another call came from this airport, and this was one Lance Corporal Kebe. Lance Corporal Kebe Alaji and Lance Corporal Kebe, who among these two was being talked about. But it was like Lance Corporal Kebe was talking from the airport. He also was asking the same situation if Lieutenant Barrow was in the camp. And then he told him, no, he's not here, but maybe very soon.
What happened after that?
After that, we took Ibrahim B.I. out. We kept him in the cell. We ambushed for him. When he came, he was arrested.
And one private soldier by the name Keba Drame, may he so rest in perfect peace. everybody was shouting. They were shouting that Ifelejang in the local language.
What does Ifelejang mean?
Ifelejang, that is, they are here. That is the dead. Everybody was inquisitive to know what is in that truck. So that's the time myself, I went to the truck, I climbed up and see two soldiers lying down. That is Basiru Baro and Lieutenant Dotfal. That is Lieutenant Basiru Baro and Lieutenant Dotfal. Yeah.
Were they alive at this stage?
No, sir. They were completely dead. Council, sir, this Bashir Baro, this Lieutenant Baro as Bashir Baro, is completely dead. As I climb up to see one private soldier by the name Bachsamba Jallo, he said to me that, you see your relative, Jarankol, Atul Lafra Kalamasad, he also repeat that, Jarankol, Yala Borajal. No, at that time, council members with their ordi even are more crazy than even the council members. He gave me pistol to fire on the Basiru. Unfortunately for me, the pistol, I squeezed the trigger, but the pistol was empty. There was no live round in the chamber, neither in the magazine.
They came back and reported it was LF Jame. They brought his weapon.
But do you know how Dotfal was captured?
Yes, Dotfal came with Lieutenant Baro, if I could fully remember.
Or he came with LF? It's
possible. Yeah. I can't remember exactly how, but I think they were arrested almost within the same period.
Yes, but he came with LF Jame and Jaju and Dabo.
That could be possible.
All right. So kindly tell us how, from what you remember, how he was arrested.
When the vehicle stopped, they were arrested.
And what happened to those who were arrested?
They were taken into the guard room cells.
Thing was part of the modus operandi, pretty much.
This was an issue. This was a moment where we were completely angry. Personally, I was disappointed when they put our name down for execution. And this changed the situation totally, completely, in our minds.
Did it in fact change the situation? Already you had a plan, a common plan, to have these people killed.
That is the situation in a battle. As I said, here, right was not what is important, but victory. And here is an issue of life and death. And whether you shoot and kill, or you are killed.
My purpose is just to understand the mindset.
Okay. So, like I said, it was somewhere behind Brikama. I don't exactly know where. We were following the convoy, and when it stopped, the soldiers were, the prisoners were quickly ushered off the vehicle and then just taken to the side of the road, shortly in the bush, and shot.
Can you give us the details about how this shooting was carried out?
Yes, sir, they were taken off the vehicle and then taken into the bush. They were knelt down. Sanasabali ordered for the soldiers that had accompanied to line up and open fire.
How about council members?
I don't believe that Yankuba opened fire. I don't believe that Sadibu Haid. I don't even believe that Sanasabali himself opened fire.
Do you believe that you opened fire?
The easy way out would be to say yes. Yes, I opened fire, and just like everybody else.
No, the easy way out is to deny responsibility completely.
No, because that would not be the easy way out before the TRRC. But what I'm trying to tell you is that they were there, we took them there for that purpose, and they were executed under our command and orders.
Well, for your information, Sanasabali said yes, he fired.
You see, there was no...
So said you fired.
Well, for me, it doesn't make a difference whether I fired or not. I am equally culpable, and I accept my responsibility as everybody else.
I will serve as a slave to my country, and I'll pray to God to change for good, so that, at any given time, one way or the other, it's like God has answered my prayers. I am praying for this gathering always to happen, so as to complain, yes, and tell Gambian people what have I did. Yes, because at some times, when I had my name in these audios, my family don't even, everybody was, it's like I'm alone. So it's like I'm alone in the country. It's like I'm alone who do all these offenses. Kani, and cancel everybody, Gambian people. These are the 3 events I participated. It's like I am the chairman. Yes, but sometimes I sit back and say, that has come because definitely Gambian people, they are seeing me. I was a training instructor. I was a very confirmed instructor related to everybody seeing me. I trained all formation, immigration, police, fire service, custom. I trained all of it, and they all admire me. That even caused my name to be, I think that even caused my name to be scattered like this. But in sometimes, some people may think that it's because of my wrongdoing, which is caused by these undesirable elements, whom I am far older than them. I am far older than them. I even seniored them in the army. Look at these people like this. I never traveled, even Senegal, when I left the army, up to date. Look at this. My fellow brother, this is my position, where I am now. I'm nowhere. This is what happened.
After more than 2 years of revelations of human rights crimes ranging from killing, torture, and disappearance without trace at the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission, they drafted their white paper and presented it to the executive arm of the government. The white paper highlighted recommendations for prosecution of perpetrators who adversely committed human rights crimes under Jammeh rule, and also gave reparations for the victims. However, almost 2 years down the line, TRC white paper still remains under the carpet, despite victims' call for justice.